So it was the final race of the week at Isle of Man TT 2017, the senior TT, the blue ribbon race everybody wants to win. Lap 1 through the Balla-Scary section. Well, it's actually Balla-Scary, but all the riders refer to it as Balla-Scary because it is a fast corner with not a lot of room for error. And when I say fast, for me on my Kawasaki Superbike is 5th gear, approximately 155 plus mile an hour. So my race bike isn't really like the normal road bike. It's built for racing. Riding position isn't particularly comfortable. My main contact patches are my hands and my toes, really. Through any technical tough sections, I'll be standing up and feeling the bike through my feet and holding on tight with my hands. So approaching the Balla-Scary section, it's a fast approach to the corner, full throttle in 6th gear, up a rise, and it's a blind apex. You can't see where you're turning into, you're just going on references. So I met my initial braking marker. You go back 1 gear to 5th and turn in as normal, all was good. Made the apex. Obviously these are just normal street roads and it's quite cambered with the rise in the middle. As I left the apex and crested the centre of the road, the bike just reacted far differently to normal and erupted into this, I'd say, out of control wobble. You know, in the motorcycle industry, it's known as a tank slapper, and it's very easy to roll the throttle off. But in that case, you then just load the front of the bike more, and it can exaggerate the situation and make it worse. So I was trying consciously to keep the gas on and really loading the foot pegs and letting the bike do what it wanted to do, because in that situation, the worst thing is to fight it. You need to kind of let it behave and naturally come out of what it's doing. Hopefully it's going to come out of what it's doing. Luckily, with the physics of gyration and the wind speed beside me, there was a crest, and the bike kind of left the ground just as we went over the crest down the hill. Both wheels left the ground, and it just gave it that split second to kind of catch up with itself. And as we landed, it kind of settled, and I got away with it. In reality, this all happened over a split minuscule of a second, and as a rider, and especially at the TT at those speeds, your kind of brain process is a step ahead almost. So what was actually happening at that moment was behind me, if that makes sense. My brain was processing what was coming up next, and it was a surreal, calm sensation. So many people said to me, "You must have been so scared and in shock," but there was a weird calmness during the event, and it wasn't till afterwards when, you know, I think I held my breath during it, and once things settled and we got going again, I kind of took a deep breath. I was like, you know, that was close. But honestly, and as a racer, I think the natural mentality of a racer, all I was worried about was losing time and the rider behind me catching me up. So the problem turned out to be a damping issue with the rear suspension. Fortunately, the race was later stopped due to an incident and restarted, and during the restart procedure we managed to change the rear shock for a serviced newer shock, and I went through that same corner again just as fast as I used to, with no hesitation. I think one key for any competitive driver is, you know, mistakes happen, but for me, I didn't feel I'd made a mistake, and to have found there be a problem, to have caused that situation, for me, my head allowed me to put it to bed and go back out again and ride competitively.